Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at this act like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5-6. I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want to stop it. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, roll with the marijuana. Waking up with the futures, some commas. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and egg, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the Nasdaq. Profits. Used to run from the ATL and them cops. Now I run down ETL, make profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and egg, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. Yeah. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawkish. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and egg, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and stop. Now I watch moves in the Nasdaq. Profits. Used to run from the ATL and them cops. Now I run down ETL. Hey, my family. Profits. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profits. Hey, Shug, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profits. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Make profits.
That TTG money gang, we some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. I hope you all had a wonderful, fantastic weekend. Maybe you guys are watching some football. Maybe you're watching the nail biter of a football game that was the Giants-Cowboys. I'm not even upset. I'm a Giants fan. Not even upset. Really aren't, because at least it wasn't 40-0 at halftime. It was a great game. One of the best football games I've seen probably since that AFC Championship game between the Bills and Chiefs. But this is not a live stream or a YouTube channel that talks about sports, although sometimes I slide them in there. This is a YouTube channel and a live stream that talks about stocks and talks about how we make money from stocks, from options, from crypto, from futures. And that is exactly what we're going to do here today on this live stream. It's exactly what we're going to do here coming up here this week. This is a huge week. You have the Fed meeting. The Fed is going to begin cutting rates for the first time in 2025. It is widely anticipated and expected we're going to get a 25 basis point cut. And this is extremely important. This is a milestone moment. This is a historical moment. And I'm going to explain to you exactly why that is. Something is about to happen that has rarely ever happened before in the past. But every single time that this has happened in the past, the result has been exactly the same. And this has major consequences for people that are both invested in the stock market and those who are not. And we're going to get into and explain all of that from a bigger picture, from a macro view of what I think the markets are going to do from this point forward, while also identifying for you some of my top trade ideas for this very week, entry points and exit points, what I'm focused on, what I'm going to be trading, exactly my plan and how I'm going to make money here this week. My name is Michael Edward Paranati. I go by Michael Edward. I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group. For those of you that are new, you maybe are not familiar with True Trading Group, TTG exists literally to help you learn faster, trade smarter, and profit sooner. That is exactly what we're going to do here tonight on this stream. We are very proud to be powered by our partners over at the Nasdaq, Benzinga, OpenAI, TradingView, Data Bento, and Unusual Whales. You guys see, True Trading Group is not just a chat room with courses and trade alerts. True Trading Group is a fintech platform. It's an award-winning fintech platform, having received the 2024 Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. This is a platform that is built on education backed by experience, strategies that are proven by success, and tools and technology that actually think, and all of it customized for you, the user. No matter who you are, what you trade, how much experience you have, or how much money you have, TTG exists to help you guys have success, to help you make money. That's what we're going to do here tonight. Members of True Trading Group, part of something real special. I couldn't be any more proud to be on this journey with each and every single one of them. So hope you guys are ready to roll your sleeves up and get down to business tonight. If this is your first time hanging out on a TTG live stream, welcome. Do yourself a favor and subscribe to the channel. Just make sure you smash that like button and show me some love. And of course, turn on your notifications so that you are notified and you never miss out on any other of these live streams, because I share golden nuggets of information, lessons, analysis, market commentary, positions I'm in, positions I'm getting into, trade ideas, analysis, and so much more. I'll answer your questions, help you guys be better prepared to tackle these markets head on. Okay, so if you guys are new, welcome. Now, you might be wondering, it's a fair question, who the hell am I? Why should you listen to anything it is that I discuss on here? And it's a valid question. And I don't think you should listen to what I discuss here because I believe I'm the world's greatest trader. I think you should pay attention to what I talk about here because I didn't figure this stuff out on my own. I began my trading career working on Wall Street. I placed T3 Alpha Fund right in New York City. They had me go through a training program before they let me touch $1 of the firm's money. And then 2008 happened. And that was the Great Recession, the huge stock market crash. But it's also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. Now you fast forward, I'm the co-founder and head trader of True Trading Group, and along with my team of 8 other professional full-time trading mods and an over 30-person staff, we've helped thousands of members from all over the world to reach their goals. True Trading Group has over 10,000 members in 114 different countries. Truly a global community. There's something for everyone here. We day trade, we swing trade, we cover long-term portfolio investing, we do stocks, options, crypto futures, you name it, we trade it. There's something here literally for everyone. So if you haven't done so, smash that like button, show some love, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. Make sure you never miss out on any of these live streams. Now, with that being said, I'm going to take a quick little sip of water because I'm going to need it. We have a lot to talk about tonight. We're about to embark on a historic moment in the markets. And that is we're about to get rate cuts with stocks at all-time highs. And you might be wondering, why is that significant? Well, you see, there's only been a few times in the past that we have got rate cuts with the stock market at all-time highs. And this is not a question really, guys, this week about are we going to get rate cuts or not. It is, the market is pricing in with almost 100% certainty a 25 basis point cut on Wednesday. So Wednesday at 2 o'clock, we're going to get the announcement. We're going to get the statement from the Fed. And then at 2:30, we're going to get the press conference from Jerome Powell. We will be covering all of that live inside of the TTG platform with all of our members who are going to be tuning in. I will break down the analysis for you guys in real time when we get that. If for some reason we did not get a rate cut, the markets would have a pretty significant pull-in, as the markets are 100% expecting that rate cut to happen. Now, there are some people that are wondering if whether or not the Fed is going to cut by 50 basis points. And I got to be honest with you, I think if the Fed was to cut by 50 basis points, I don't think it would send a sign of panic, because the way that I look at it is we haven't had a Fed meeting since July, right? There was no meeting in August. And ever since the July Fed meeting, when the Fed decided to not cut interest rates, they decided to hold rates where they were in July. And then a couple of days later, we got a massive revision to the jobs data. If the Fed actually had that information a few days earlier when they had their Fed meeting and they decided to hold interest rates where they were in July, they most likely would have cut by 25 basis points in July. There's no Fed meeting in August, and they would have cut again in September. So if they did give you 50 basis points on Wednesday, I don't think that sends a sign of panic. I think it sends the sign of, hey, we probably would have cut by 25 basis points in July. Now, as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, over the last couple of weeks and over the last couple of months, we have gotten severe revisions to jobs data over the previous months and over the previous years. And those revisions have made people feel like, okay, the labor market's a little bit weaker than we thought it was, and the Fed is therefore going to start to get ready to cut rates. The whole premise behind the Fed being able to hold rates where they were for as long as they did was that, well, the labor market is still really strong, and therefore we don't need to cut rates. We're going to hold them where they are and just make sure inflation doesn't begin to accelerate again. But over the last couple of months, we've kind of found out that the labor market and the jobs data that we thought we were seeing wasn't necessarily the case. And the picture of the overall labor market is actually very different now than we thought it was just a couple of months ago. And if the Fed had that information available at that time, then they probably would have went ahead and cut rates by 25 basis points at the July meeting, especially knowing that there was no meeting in August. So if you do get a 50 basis point cut, and I don't think you're going to, my bet is going to be on a 25 basis point cut on Wednesday. That's going to be what I think you're going to see. But if you did see 50, I don't think it sends a sign of panic. I think it just sends a sign of like, yeah, we're just catching up at this point. And then you'll see a 25 basis point cut, okay, at the next meeting, and a 25 basis point cut at the meeting in December. And you'll roll into then next year with the Fed on a 75 to 100 basis point cutting cycle here coming into the end of this year. And I think that would be okay. All right. But either way, the point is, whether they cut by 25 or 50, I honestly don't think it really matters all that much to the results that I think we're going to see over the course of the next 1, 6, and 12 months. I'm going to give you on this live stream my outlook for the next 1, 6, and 12 months. And the information I'm going to give you on my outlook for the markets over the next 1, 6, and 12 months is actually based on a lot of really good historical data. And for those of you that love kind of the bigger picture stuff, and you love kind of history, and you love stats and data and everything else, you're going to love this. I need everybody to really pay attention to kind of the next part of this live stream, because it's, aside from me telling you my exact plan of how I'm going to make money this week, I think this is probably one of the most important things that you're going to hear in quite a while. This is really gut check time for a lot of people. And I think that what you're going to hear from me tonight is probably something that is a little bit more urgent and is a little bit more time sensitive and genuine and serious than you might have thought you were going to hear as you logged on to this live stream, whether you're a loyal follower, a friend or a family member told you to tune in tonight, or maybe you just logged on to YouTube and YouTube was like, hey, check out this live stream based on your interests. We're about to get into a pretty historic moment. There have only been, if you take a look, okay, we have actually never had rate cuts with these next three things. We've never had rate cuts with markets at all-time highs while GDP is above 3%, while core CPI is above 3%. Those three things together, being present and true, have never been the case when the Fed cut rates. Ever. This is going to be the first time that core CPI is above 3, GDP is above 3, and stocks are at all-time highs, and yet the Fed is cutting rates. And they're going to blame we're cutting rates because, the labor market is weakening, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut rates. There have been, if you look back, the last 20 times, okay, that the Fed has cut rates with stocks at all-time highs, because that has happened before. The Fed has cut rates with stocks at all-time highs many times before, but you never had it also with core CPI above 3 and GDP above 3. You never had those combinations, but you've had 20 different instances when the Fed cut rates with stocks at all-time highs. And now here's from all my stat lovers. Fun facts of the day. I've got a bunch of them for you. Out of the last 20 times the Fed has cut rates with stocks at all-time highs, all 20 saw stocks higher 12 months later? All 20. So 20 out of the last 20 times the Fed has cut rates with stocks at all-time highs, stocks were higher 12 months later. By an average, not just by like 2%, 5%, on average, they're higher by 14%. I'm talking about the S&P 500. The S&P 500, on average, is up 14% 12 months after the Fed cuts rates with stocks at all-time highs, 20 out of the last 20 times that has occurred. But now here's the fun part. 11 of the last 22 times that we have seen that, 11 of the last 22 times that the Fed has cut rates with stocks at all-time highs, that's half the time. Stocks were lower 1 month later. 1 month later, stocks are lower. Half the time. But 100% of the time, they're higher 12 months later, and they're higher 12 months later by a lot. Now, the S&P has just had one of the most historic rallies that it's ever had in history. The S&P 500 has gained over 30% in the last 5 months. You know that has only happened 5 times since 1975? Did you know that? You might not have known that. That's how historic this rally is. The rally we've seen from April to the all-time high that we just put in on Friday, a rally of that magnitude has only happened 5 times since 1975, 2 of which were the recovery from the COVID crash and the recovery following the 2008 Great Financial Crisis. Okay? But it's only happened 5 times. Now, out of those 5 times that the market has gained more than 30% in a 5-month period, all 5 of those other instances, all 5, the markets are higher 12 months later. Not by an average of 2% or 5%. Hell, not even by an average of 14%. The markets are higher by an average of 18% those last 5 times that the markets have rallied more than 30% in a matter of just 5 months. This is truly a historic moment that you were all witnessing before your eyes. You know, the funny thing about historic moments is that you don't really appreciate them when they're happening in real time, and you don't realize their significance in history until far later. And you certainly don't realize the significance that these moments have on your net worth and your family's financial situation for many years, decades, and generations to come, until, unfortunately, many years, many decades, and many generations later. But what you are about to embark on is something that we really can look back on as truly a historic moment in the markets with what I'm just telling you. And now I'm going to give you more stats that's going to kind of open your eyes and make you kind of see where I'm going with this. U.S. household net worth just increased $7.1 trillion in the second quarter of 2025. U.S. household net worth increased $7.1 trillion last quarter. That's a historic number. Total U.S. household net worth is at a new all-time record high of $176.3 trillion in the second quarter of 2025. The wealth gap between those who own assets and those who do not is widening at a rapid pace. This is not just a live stream about, hey, let's buy these call options this week. This is a live stream that needs to be a wake-up call for everyone that is continuing to sit on the sidelines. Because I'm going to ask this question now, and someone throw out a number. I want you to throw out a number of what you think. Okay? This is not rhetorical. I want you guys to answer this one. Tell me what you think. And don't cheat. Just throw a number out. Just tell me what you think. 50%, right? If you took all of U.S. households, okay? All U.S. households, 0 to 100%. And we took the bottom 50%. the bottom 50%, 50. How much, what percent of total U.S. net worth do you think the bottom 50% own? What do you think? Just throw a number out. What percentage of total household net worth do you think the bottom 50% of households hold? All together, cumulatively, collectively, the bottom 50%. What percentage do they own of total U.S. household net worth? 5%, 10%, 20%, 18%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 5%, 18%, 15%, 30%, 5%. These are all really good guesses. They're all really good guesses. The answer, 2.5%. Now that statistic is so incredibly shocking, I'm going to repeat it. The bottom 50% of U.S. households only own 2.5% of the total U.S. household net worth of that $176 trillion number that I just said to you previously. That is a shocking number. And that is a number that should be a wake-up call to all of you. People talk about the wealth gap in this country. And everyone talks about how do we solve the wealth gap? How do you fix the wealth gap? What you are seeing, that wealth gap is going to get much worse. And the reason why it's going to get much worse is because the top 50% of U.S. households own assets. They own stocks. They own gold. They own real estate. The bottom 50% doesn't. They're left to just live off their paycheck. And they don't take any of that income and invest it or buy any assets. They don't get involved in the stock market. And that is why wealthy people that are involved in the stock market, that own assets, as inflation continues to rise, as inflation rises, asset prices move higher, but the value of a dollar in your wallet goes down. The only way for you to keep pace, it's not by taxing billionaires 85%. It's by investing and getting involved in the stock market. That's how you do it. And these numbers that I'm showing you right now it's proof. These numbers are literal proof. And you are about to now go into a cycle where the Fed is going to be cutting rates while the stock market's at all-time highs, while inflation is still at 3%. You do run the risk over the next several years that inflation continues to move higher. And on the same time as inflation is sticky, or even if inflation doesn't move higher, inflation can stay at 3%. If inflation stays at 3%, but the stock market can still continue to move higher. The stock market can go up by 18% over the next 12 months, and inflation can go up another 3%. It's gut check time. All this is happening while you are about to embark on the AI revolution. This is the greatest technological revolution that you've seen since the creation of the internet. It is. And with everything that I have just said to you, based on history alone, what I believe we're going to see happen is you may get a pullback in this market over the next 1 or 2 months. Over the next several weeks, 1 to 1.5 months, you may get a pullback. As a matter of fact, I don't think you may. I think you're going to. I think you're going to get a pullback between now and the end of the year. There's going to be a month, at least 1 month, where this market goes down. And it's going to go down at a decent amount, so much so that it's going to scare every single person into thinking, that's it, party's over. And you're going to let that stock market decline for a month. And you're going to watch stocks like Palantir and Nvidia and Snowflake and Datadog and Meta and Microsoft and CrowdStrike and Palo Alto and Oracle and IBM and Broadcom and Micron and Taiwan Semi and AMD. And you're going to let companies like that go down 20, 25, maybe even 30%. And you're not going to do anything about it. And I'm sitting here right now today on this live stream telling you that I think that we may have a series unfolding where over the next couple of months, we're going to get a pullback. And that pullback may be your very last chance of taking advantage of what is to come. I'll say it to you one more time. 20 of the last 20 times that the Fed has cut rates with stocks at all-time highs, all 20 times, stocks were higher 12 months later. Of the last 5 times since 1975 that the stock market has gone up by more than 30% in just 5 months, all 5 times the market was higher 12 months later by 18% on average. But 11 of those last 22 times that the Fed cut when the markets were at all-time highs, 11 of those times, the market was down 1 month later. So if you get a pullback after the Fed cuts rates here on Wednesday, you can't let it scare you. You can't let it frighten you. You can't let it make you think that the party is over. You have to say to yourself, if I do not own these stocks, if I am not invested in leverage on the AI revolution, this could be my last chance. Because as history tells us, that pullback has been people's last chance. Now, I plan on taking advantage of that pullback. I mean, I'm going to short some stuff. We're going to buy some put options. If the market's going to go down for a month or so, I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to be short. We're going to buy put options, and we're going to absolutely nail that pullback because we're going to be ready for it. But then I'm not going to be silly enough to just let the stocks pull back and then sit back and be like, that's it. The stock market's going to crash now. No. We're going to step in and we're going to take all that money that we just generated by trading to the downside. We're going to take all that money that we just made and we're going to roll it into the best stocks that we love in our long-term portfolio. And we're going to own those stocks for the next several years. And we're going to then watch the markets move higher as the Fed goes through the rate cutting cycle. That's what I think that we're going to be looking at. So I'm getting ready for a near-term pullback with a long-term continued trajectory of a bull market. I hope these statistics are eye-opening for people that are on this live stream, because this isn't even now me giving you just my opinion. This is me giving you history. This is me giving you statistics. And these statistics are overwhelmingly favoring one side. Do not fight the Fed. It's the first saying that I learned when I worked on Wall Street. Do not fight the Fed. That goes when they're cutting rates. That goes when they're raising rates. Do not fight the Fed. How many of you are not a member of TTG? I want to see how many people are on here because I specifically want you to see something. If you're not a member of True Trading Group, I want you to type the letters TTG in here right now on this live stream. Type the letters TTG. Again, TTG. I want you to type TTG in chat right now. If you're not a member, I just want to see how many people we have on here specifically that are not members because I want to show you something. If you're not a member, I want to show you something. Type the letters TTG. Type the letters TTG right here in chat right now. If you're not a member, don't, you might think it's facetious. You don't feel like it. Just do it. I want to see how many people here are not members. I want to show you something specifically. We got Kirk. We got Gavin. Let's go ahead and type the letters TTG. For those of you that are not members of the community. Black Mamba, what's up? Black Mamba, I can tell you're not a total newbie. I saw some of your comments from before, and I'm kind of with you as far as the short-term outlook. But long-term outlook, brother, I am bullish long-term. It's hard not to be. It's hard not to be. But I'm with you on that near-term volatility, brother. I'm going to be short in that near term, but long-term, I think that we still got to be looking for stocks to move higher. We got Vinny. What's up, Vinny? We got Jim. Passerachi, what's up? We got Joe Blow. What's up? What's up? What's up? We got Bryce. We got Fredgy. We got Steve. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? So this is what I'm kind of getting at here, right? This is where strength in numbers I think really comes in, because I think we might walk into, over the very near term, a very volatile environment. Okay. And this is where I think strength in numbers really comes into play. And this is honestly where I think Mari and the fintech platform that we have with TGD really does come into play, because when markets pull back, stocks move much faster and much larger percentage moves in a much shorter period of time, right? Bulls take the stairs, bears take the window. Okay. Stocks go down a lot faster than they go up. Always have. Always will. And you're not going to be able to focus on every single thing that's happening. You're going to be flustered, especially if you don't have a lot of experience or if you guys are new at this. I've been doing this I've been doing this almost 20 years. Okay. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I've seen every single market environment that you can possibly think of. Okay. And I think this is a real serious moment. And I think everyone that's not a member, if you guys are not taking advantages, you have to realize, okay, are you the richest that you've ever been? Because household net worth in the United States just hit a new record high. So if you're not the richest that you've ever been, then that means you're missing out on something. I know there's a lot of people here right now that probably don't feel like they're the richest they've ever been. The cost of living is freaking expensive. Things cost a lot of money. You can't go to the grocery store without spending $300. Your electricity bills up, your car insurance up, your health insurance up, all of it up. How do you combat it? Assets, the stock market, getting involved. That's what our members are doing. Our members combat it by earning extra income and owning assets. Our members make money at True Trading Group, guys. And it's not just because I say that to be true. They'll tell you. Members that are on this live stream, just real quick show of hands. Quick show of hands. If you are a member, type the number 1 if you guys are making money. You're becoming better traders because of TTG. Just type the number 1 if you guys are making money. Anyone here that's not a member, I really think you should pay attention to how many people type the number 1 right now, even more so maybe than even some of the things that I'm saying. Because I guess really what matters most is when you guys are deciding whether or not you're going to join a community or you're going to join a platform, whatever it is, the thing that matters most is it's not, oh, how much money did Mike make? It's, do the members of True Trading Group actually make money? Do they benefit from being part of this platform? That's really the question that you should be asking. And you guys can see right now from all the people typing the number 1 inside chat, these are your friends, your family members, your coworkers. These are your peers. These are people that were once on a live stream and they're now members of TTG and they're sitting here telling you that they're actually making money. In my opinion, that's the best reason for someone to say, you know what? Yeah, I want to join this platform. I want to use the tools and resources they have available to them. It was never a perfect time for them. All these people you see typing number 1, they didn't wait for the perfect time to join True Trading Group. They didn't wait until they had more time available. They didn't wait until they had more money available. They didn't wait until they felt luckier. They didn't wait until their life had less stress. But they did it anyway. They did it anyway. They joined True Trading Group and they bought with me in my long-term portfolio back in April. They bought with us on a long-term portfolio on August 5th of 2024. They bought with us in our long-term portfolio back in 2022. They bought with us in our long-term portfolio March and April of 2020. They sold with me in our long-term portfolio October of 2021. And all these people that are members of True Trading Group, they are part of that number, part of that top number that owns assets, part of that number that saw their household net worth increase. And the reason why they're seeing their net worth increase is because they're getting involved. They're part of True Trading Group. They're utilizing the award-winning AI platform that we have available, the tools, the resources. They're following the moderators. They're placing trades. They're communicating with other members. They're making money in this environment, and they're supplementing their income, and they're building long-term wealth for their families and their long-term portfolio in the meantime. At the end of the day, that is why you're here. That's why you're watching this live stream right now instead of watching the Eagles and Chiefs game. That's why. That's why you're here. You wouldn't be here otherwise. At True Trading Group, we literally take you guys by the hand as a community, whether you day trade or swing trade or you're just long-term investing. No matter if you have a full-time job, we take you by the hand. We give you the best possible chance to succeed. Look at that. Cody Hill goes, 2021, I stumbled upon a TGG live stream. Joining was one of the best things I've ever done. You want to know how else you can know that a platform really works for its members? How long are they a member for? That's the other thing you can really tell. Because anyone here that's not a member, like Black Mamba, right? You're not a newbie. You're an experienced trader. Black Mamba, fair to assume. And this goes for anybody. But I just saw you commenting before, and I know you're not a newbie. That's why I'm asking you. Let's say you joined the True Trading Group tonight. Let's fast forward to September 14th, 2026. You didn't make any money with us. Are you going to renew your membership for another year? Fair to say, probably not. I mean, I would expect you not to. right? Fair to say, probably not, right? So here's a question, the other question I have, and then we're going to get into my trade ideas for the week, okay? Then we're probably not, right? Of course. And fair, totally fair. That's exactly what the answer that I would expect. So here, let's do this. Members of TTG, I'd like you to type right now, how many years have you been a member? How many years have you been a member? Ali says, I'm up $82,000 since May 1st of 2025 until September 12th. Read some of these numbers: 6 years, 5 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 1 year, over 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, 4.5 years, 3.5 years, 4 years, 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 5 years, 1.5 years. Look at some of these comments. So now let me ask you, and you saw Black Mamba, and I appreciate you engaging with me. So you saw Black Mamba, who's an experienced trader, said, I wouldn't continue, and I wouldn't expect any of you to continue. So then ask, why the hell are these members part of TTG for 5 years? Something's got to be working. Something's got to be working for them. And it's very simple. They're making money, guys. I joined 2 weeks ago in this video last week, and the plays presented and results in 2 days early in the week influenced me to become a lifetime member on Wednesday. I was 12 for 12 on TTG's plays. Phil, I remember you in chat, man. So yes, Phil literally joined 2 weeks ago. I didn't realize that you've already became a lifetime member. That's actually insane. You've only been a member for 2 weeks and you already became lifetime. You're 12 for 12 on all of your TTG plays. That's amazing. And guys, listen, I'm not the only moderator in True Trading Group. I want to be clear about that. There's 8 professional traders in True Trading Group that share their screen with you, that are live on the mic. They trade with you live. They answer questions. You get notified when they enter, when they exit positions. And you also get to use Mari, which is our AI, our award-winning AI trading co-pilot, Mari, that's going to help. You know, it combines your education, your charts, your news, your indicators, everything all just combined into one amazing tool that can help give you guys real-time analysis to help you guys make better trading decisions and help you identify, you know, entries and exits, profit targets, you know, stop losses, you know, chart analysis, news analysis, whatever it is, and everything else. Okay. I think the other thing is, like, I see the results that members have, and that's why I'm going to offer you guys something. This is how I look at this, right? This is how we get you. Okay. Someone like Phil just joined 2 weeks ago and he just became a lifetime member. Now, lifetime memberships are thousands of dollars. Okay. So the way that I will get you, right? This is our scam. This is the way that I'm going to get you, is I'm going to offer anyone here that's not a member of True Trading Group. I'm going to say, forget about a year membership. Come join us for 90 days. Join us for 90 days. Use the platform. Use the AI Copilot. Follow me and some of the other moderators. Follow some of our analysis. Maybe follow along with some of our trades if you so choose. And let's make some money together for the next 90 days. I am so confident. So True Trading Group is an annual membership. It's usually over $1,000 for an annual membership. Okay. I'm saying forget about the annual membership. Join us for $297 for the next 90 days. There's no automatic renewal. There's no automatic upgrade. After 90 days, it just expires. You're never charged anything ever again. If you want to stay with us after those 90 days are up, you have to physically, manually process another transaction to stay with us for the rest of the year. But I am so confident that after you are with us for 90 days, that you're going to want to stay with us, that I'm going to give you guys access for those 90 days. That's what, like Phil. Phil joined 2 weeks ago. So he didn't even need 90 days. He didn't even need 30 days. He went 12 for 12 on his first TTG, his first 12 TTG trades. He was 12 for 12 and immediately decided, never mind an annual member, he immediately decided he wanted to become a lifetime member. Forget about lifetime. Forget about annual. Come join our platform, 10,000 traders from 114 different countries for 90 days. Then tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me I'm full of shit. Tell me that this platform sucks. Tell me I'm a horrible trader. Tell me our AI is garbage. Tell me that everything we have available did not give you the very best chance of making money that you've ever had your time in the markets. Go to ttgoffer.com. Everything that we have is on that page. Just go to ttgoffer.com. You're going to get, for just $297 for 90 days, you're going to get Mari. That's our AI trading co-pilot. That's the award-winning AI, okay? 2024, we received from the Benzinga FinTech Awards Best AI Analysis Tool, and we are up for a few more awards this year. We'll let you guys know how that goes. The award dinner is actually in November. Okay, Mari, that's our AI that connects your education, your charts, your news, your tools, all into one intelligent system. There's no complex prompts. You talk to it in regular, plain old English, and you get fast chart analysis, market context, and personalized learning support. They continue to help you improve your knowledge and trading skills. They don't take your money and leave you to shift for yourself. That's why I'm a lifetime member. That's from James Puccio. James, hope you're doing well, brother. Okay, everything, guys, is on that page. Everything that's included. You're going to get, of course, our curriculum. Okay, 18 courses of a simplified and expanded upon version of the training that I received when I worked at the fund in New York. Of course, you get the chat room with all of our trade alerts. Okay, stocks, options, day trades, swing trades. You get the watch list every day for day trade and swing trading watch list. You get Benzinga Pro's news feed with the Squawk Box feature. You get TradingView's premium charting software with real-time data, of course. Okay, you get the Trade Ideas scanner that streams on our platform for you guys to use. You have access to our video library that has over 2,000 hours of recorded workshops covering a variety of different topics. You're going to get a free red to green workshop every single month. So every month we hold. So that's the other thing about True Trading. We don't leave any trader behind. So we actually hold on the first Wednesday of every month. We hold what we call a red to green workshop. That is a workshop specifically for any member that is struggling. We allow those members to submit questions, topics, things they're having a hard time with, and then we host a live free workshop covering those topics. We call those red to green workshops. That's included with your membership. It's not going to cost you anything extra. Everything I'm saying to you right now is included for the $297 for 90 days. It's less than $100 a month. It's less than $100. Unusual options activity, options flow, dark pool data, short data, congressional trading data. All of this is included for 90 days for just $297. And again, after 90 days, there's no automatic upgrade if you forget to cancel. There's no automatic renewal. If you forget, it just cancels. You never charge anything ever again. You lose access to the platform. But I'm so confident that you guys are going to find success within the 90 days. I even think it's going to be less than that because you saw like Phil was the example. Phil was 2 weeks. And even if you don't just find success, I just think you're going to instantly be like, this platform is fantastic. This is why they have a partnership with the Nasdaq. This is why they have a partnership with Unusual Whales. This is why they have a partnership with Benzinga. This is why there's a partnership with TradingView and Data Bento and everything else. This is why we've been able to work with OpenAI as closely as we have to be able to build out the AI platform that we do. This is why they received the Benzinga FinTech Award. This is why they have 10,000 members. This is why. I think you're going to see that very quickly. And then you're going to decide, you know what? I'm going to stay here for the entire year. And if you decide you want to stay here for the entire year, we actually give you a double your money back guarantee. Scroll to the bottom of ttgoffer.com. The double your money back guarantee is right there in black and white. So let's say you paid $297 for the 90 days. Then you decide after 90 days, I want to stay for the whole year. I'll give you the whole year for just $697. So essentially you'll just pay $400 more and you'll lock yourself in for the whole year. And then now here's the deal. If you can't make back the $697 at least once with all of your winning trades, we'll give you back double your money. The requirements to be eligible for the double your money back guarantee is as follows. You got to pass all of our courses with an 85% score on the quizzes. Okay. You need to log into the platform at least for 50 days over the course of a year. actually use the platform that you subscribe to, attend one free private study group session. We do them every week. I'm asking you to attend one. You, of course, have to place real trades with real money. Okay, that sums up at least an amount that's equal to 2 times your membership price. You can't just trade with $10 and be like, oh, I didn't make $697 back, right? Like these are very realistic things, okay? And you're going to have to provide your brokerage statements just to prove that you never made enough money to cover the $697, okay? Losses do not affect that eligibility. It's only the winning trade dollars. There's no automatic renewal. There's no hidden charges. The membership does not automatically renew. It's all right there for you in black and white. Just go read it. It's on ttgoffer.com. I'm going to allow the next 15 people that want to join, or midnight tonight, whatever happens first, because I'm normally offering the 90-day membership for $397. I'm going to give the next 15 people that want to join 90 days for $297, and then tell me that I'm wrong. Seriously. Because I'm confident you're going to want to stay with us. If you have any questions, I want you to send a text message to 1-888-621-2127. Again, that's 1-888-621-2127. The phone number is at the bottom of your screen. If you have any questions, you have any concerns, you need help signing up, text that phone number. Okay? I'm going to give this to 15 people. Then tomorrow, it's $397 for 90 days. Tonight, $297. Tomorrow, it's $397, or 15 people, whatever happens first. Look at this. Shell says, I've been a member for over 3 months, and I decided to become a lifetime member, and I bought my brother a membership. These guys are legit and have the best AI out there that they continue to make better at rapid paces. There you go right there. Another example. Now listen to me very carefully. If you used to be a member of TTG in the past, or you used to be a trial member and you would like to join now for $297 for 90 days, you have to send a text message because we have to whitelist your account since you've previously had an account. So you have to text us to 1-888-621-2127, and then we can get you hooked back up for just $297 for 90 days. And then after the 90 days are up, if you like it and you want to stay, you pay $400 more and you lock yourself in. You're good for the entire year. ttgoffer.com. Everything that you get is listed on that page. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to text us. We're fully transparent. We are an open book. 1-888-621-2127. All right. So there we have that. All right, folks. With that, now let's take things on over to the charts and let's start to talk about some of the trade ideas for the week. Quick check-in on futures. We're flat. Okay, futures have just been sitting here flat off the open. You know, we opened up. Oh, here we go. We have some more comments here. We got Aga Fox. Aga Fox, how are you? Says, support and resources you get here unparalleled. You have so much information at your fingertips, but most of all, the family. The only regret you will have is that you have not done this sooner. My boy Bert, who's killing it in the long-term portfolio, the Teach the AI is constantly updated and refined for incredible accuracy. It's much more than just ChatGPT, essential for best results. Boom, my boy Bert. Cody Hill says, facts. Fibonacci goes, amen. You guys, I love you. Love it, love it. TGD family, rolling deep. Appreciate you guys. All right. So again, any questions, text us 1-888-621-2127. Let's take things on over to the charts. Okay. And one more time, guys, just in case for those that missed it, one more time for those that missed it, members, if you're making money, type the number 1. Again, type the number 1. If you guys are making money and becoming better traders because of TTG, type the number 1 in chat right now. And then if you're not a member, I pay very close attention to how many people you see right now. Type the number 1 in chat. That's the reason I think you should join. Right there. Not because I think I'm the world's best trader. Because members that use the TTG platform find success. Simple as that. ttgoffer.com. $297 for 90 days. Text us with any questions. All right. All right, folks. So now as we sit here with the markets just kind of flat on futures, there really isn't anything on the chart right now that would tell me to go short. Okay. There's no chart pattern. There's no candlestick pattern. There's no indicator that tells me that we should be going short tomorrow. What I do think is I think that this rally off the April lows is getting long in the tooth, up over 30% in 5 months, which is a historic rally. And considering that 11 of the last 22 times that the Fed has cut rates with stocks at all-time highs, the market's pulled back 1 month later, I think the opportunity here for a short-term, near-term pullback, okay, over the course of the next 30 to 45 days, I think is very, very realistic, almost to the point where I feel like it's probable at this point. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to maintain kind of a bullish undertone going into the Fed meeting. And then following that Fed meeting and following the actual 25 basis point cut, I'm going to be looking for a turnaround. And I'm going to be looking for some sign of a near-term top, whether that be some type of a bearish engulfing candle. It could be a gap and crap. It could be a shooting star. It could be a long list of different things. But one of the key points that I like to look for is if you have a situation where the markets are rallying, and then all of a sudden, while you're rallying and the markets are getting extended, you then get what is called an exhaustion gap. An exhaustion gap has to come after a market has extended, because the markets have extended higher. It means they're already tired, and you get this large gap up. And when that large gap up or exhaustion gap fails and you actually drop back into the red and you get a bearish engulfing candle on that prior day from the all-time high gap and crap, that is a signal to now go short. That momentum has shifted. We almost had a situation like that and a trigger like that last week on this day right here. On that day, when we gapped up to those all-time highs on Friday, September 5th, okay, we gapped up to an all-time high and then sold it all the way back down to the prior day's low. And you almost ran the risk of putting in a bearish engulfing candle with a gap and crap at an all-time high. You did not get the confirmation of that setup, because you actually ended up double bottoming at the prior day's low. Okay, you actually ended up double bottoming at the prior day's low, and you can see with this tail, the market's bounced back to close in the middle of the day, or close in the middle of the day's range. Now, if that candle closed down here, and this is what that candle looked like, that would have been a bearish engulfing gap and crap candle at an all-time high. And that would have given me a signal to now go short and look for stocks to have rolled back down to test your next, at least your first, probably your second support level over the course of the next couple of weeks. That first support level would have been the mid 630s. And then you would have had another support level that's actually around 630. And your third and your major support level would be down there around 619, 620. I don't know if that level is quite so much in play. That's a pretty decent ways away from where we currently sit. But we never got that confirmation last Friday. Not this past Friday. I'm talking about the Friday before that, the 5th. Okay, but that's an example of a gap to an all-time high, and then you crapped it out, went all the way down to prior day's low, but then you bounced. So that negates that signal. If you were to get a situation, I'll just draw it for you just to give you an idea. Let's say the market's gapped up to here, right? Let's say you got a gap up to here. But then as the day goes on, that gap up gets filled, right? And then closes like this. And let's say this is the candle that you actually see. If this is the candle that you actually saw with a gap up to an all-time high and then crapped it out and you engulfed the prior day candle, that's a bearish signal. If I see something like that over the course of the next few days after the Fed meeting, that's going to be my signal. Momentum has shifted, and we're going to look for now short setups, and we're going to ride the short side for at least the next 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, so here's someone actually just texted us. I want to just comment on this. Someone just sent us a text message that says, I don't have a lot of capital. This is why I need to do futures with a prop firm funding. That's crazy to say that. To think that you need to do prop firm funded accounts because you don't have a lot of money is a crazy thing to say. That is not true at all. And if you don't have a lot of money, I actually highly suggest that you do not do that. The way those prop funding accounts work is you're going to have to pay a fee to qualify or to go through a test to pass to get that funded account. And the majority of traders don't pass that, and you don't get that money back. So you're going to waste your money on paying to pass their exam or pass their tryout. You need to like, it's a week or 2 weeks, whatever it is. Everyone is different. You have to meet a certain criteria. You have to make a certain amount of money. You got to have a certain win rate. You have a limited drawdown. And if you don't meet all those requirements during your trial period, you fail, you don't get the funded account, and they're just going to keep the money that you paid for that test. And you could have used that money to, let's say, for example, join True Trading Group for a fraction of the cost, because some of those prop firms will charge you thousands of dollars for that. You can join True Trading Group for $297. You don't need a lot of money. It's a really big misconception to think you need a lot of money in order for you to be trading. You can trade the MES, not the ES, trade the MES. It's $5 per point per contract. You can trade with $100. You don't need thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to do this. It's the biggest misconception that anybody could have. We have a lot of members that join True Trading Group with just a couple $100 in their account. I'll prove it to you. Guys, if you're a member, let's help this person out, this person that's texting into us right now, okay? They said they need, oh my goodness, this is bad. The person that's texting us in right now, you really need to listen to this. They just said, oh, that's why I need a funded account, because so I can obtain hundreds of thousands of dollars in funding, hundreds of thousands that I do not have. You do not need hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this. And the thing that I really want you to understand, I don't care if you have $5 million in your account. If you don't know what you're doing, you're just going to lose all of it just the same. Whether you have $500 or $5 million, if you don't know what you are doing, you're going to lose all of it just the same. We've had a lot of our members join True Trading Group and start with just a couple $100, and now they're making money. And I'll prove that to you. This goes to the person that's texting in, that's having this conversation with us right now. Members of TTG, if you started True Trading Group with less than $1,000 in your account and now you're making money, can you comment in chat right now and just tell me, what did you start with in your trading account? What was the balance in your trading account when you started? Just type in chat right now what the balance was in your trading account when you started, if you guys are making money with us now. If it was less than $1,000, Reaper Trade started with just $500. I want that person specifically to pay attention. $500, $400. This is their starting balance in their trading account when they joined TTG. $500. Stack started with $300. This is not hundreds of thousands of dollars. Maria started with $300. Maria, I hope you're doing well. These are members of True Trading Group, guys, that started when they joined True Trading Group, $700. Mika, $500 in their trading account, and now they're making money. $250 for taking profits. To think you need hundreds of thousands of dollars to do this is just flat out completely wrong. And you are going down a very dangerous path that is going to lead to absolute failure. Do not try to run before you learn to walk. Again, folks, it's ttgoffer.com. You can join for 90 days. For just $297. You have any questions, text us 1-888-621-2127. All right. So we have to welcome Javier, Priya, Malik, Fiona, Tatiana, Elias, and Dante. Eight of those spots left. Eight of those spots left. Okay. Javier, Priya, Malik, Fiona, Tatiana, Elias, and Dante. Welcome to the TTG family. Okay. Welcome to the TTG family. Again, guys, 8 spots now remain, 297 for the next 90 days. Text us with any questions. All right, so that's what I'm going to look for the market with the markets. I'm not just going to come out and just go short this week. I'm going to wait for a signal because let's not forget, of those 22 times, 11 times the markets were red 1 month later, but 11 times they weren't. So we're not coming into this week and just blindly going short. We're waiting for a signal, and that is the one signal that I'm going to be looking for. All right, let's talk about some individual stocks. First and foremost, I want to focus on Ethereum. Ethereum really looks like it wants to crack 5K. You know, we broke above 4,700 this weekend. We got a little pullback. I think we're 46 and change right now. But if Ethereum is to rally, guys, if Ethereum is to rally through 5K, I mean, ETHU is a wonderful trading vehicle for a day trade, and it's something that I'm going to be focusing on pretty heavily. It had a really huge breakout day on Friday after going through this little bit of a consolidation pattern. It's a really sloppy kind of looking flag, but you got a nice little breakout candle here on ETHU. ETHU is the 2 times leverage ETF for Ethereum. We got to welcome Cornelius. Cornelius, 7 spots now remain. 7 spots now remain, guys. Again, tomorrow or the next 7 people, whichever happens first at this rate. We've already had 8 people join. So at this rate, it looks like it's just going to be the next 7 people. The price will then move to $397 for the next 90 days. But we've got resistance up here on ETHU up at 190. And I think it's very possible that we can see ETHU pushing up to like 185. And I want to be there for that. That's a $14 move from here. And if we get a break of 5K on Ethereum, you could see some momentum begin to pick up on Ethereum. And I think that could take ETHU up there. So we're going to look for longs potentially there, guys, on ETHU this week. I want to keep a very close eye on the quantum names. IONQ is trying to break it through its all-time high after some news last week. And the funny part is that before Bitcoin, and a member actually had brought this to my attention, and I want to go back and let me go back and just take a look at this. If you were to go back and take a look at Bitcoin, a chart of Bitcoin, when Bitcoin broke out from and ran to 65K the first time, when you had the 65K break and run and rally on Bitcoin for the first time, it put in an identical chart to what you are seeing in IONQ over the last 2 to 3 years. Identical. And it was the exact same setup, okay, with the huge rally that you saw in IONQ, a very deep pullback, and then a rally back into those previous all-time highs, okay, a rally back into those previous all-time highs. You also had a break of a massive downtrend that lasted for several months with Bitcoin. IONQ, same thing, massive downtrend that lasted several months, broke out, rallied, deep pullback, rallied back in to retest that prior high. And Bitcoin, when it did this, Bitcoin failed that breakout and pulled all the way back down. Okay, that's what Bitcoin did. Now, IONQ and Bitcoin are not really related, okay? But it's just an identical chart setup. Okay, now we have to welcome David. David just joined. Guys, now there's only 6 of these spots left. You got to hurry up. These are going fast. And we have a bunch of people on the checkout page already. They are first come, first serve. Go to ttgoffer.com. It's $297 for 90 days. There's no automatic renewal or no automatic upgrade after the 90 days are up. Go there now. Grab one of your spots because tomorrow, or not even tomorrow, after 6 more people join, the price is $397. So you guys can join now for $297. ttgoffer.com. You have any questions, text us 1-888-621-2127. Okay? So what I'm looking for here on IONQ is I'm actually going to probably use IONQ as my leader, and I'm going to use RGTI as my target. Now, the reason I'm going to do that is because RGTI has not broken its all-time high. It hasn't quite gotten up to it yet. IONQ has. If IONQ tomorrow were to fail and were to put in a candle that looks something like this, that is a very big red flag. That is a huge warning sign that this massive volume breakout was not enough to clear the all-time high. And if it's not enough to clear the all-time high, then that means I don't think RGTI will clear this all-time high, and we'll look for a pullback on RGTI, and we can use the all-time high in RGTI as the stop loss. Okay? That's why I like RGTI, because we can so easily define where we're going to stop out of the short if we're wrong. So I'm going to wait. I want to see, does IONQ continue and just short squeeze tomorrow? Then don't try to short any quantum names. IONQ is the clear-cut leader in that space. Use IONQ to trade the others. But if IONQ fails this and pulls back to $51 tomorrow, then I am most likely going to go ahead and look at RGTI for a short to go back to 15 or 16 bucks. Okay? So a sympathy play using IONQ as the leader, simply play down there on RGTI. Then we're going to look at OKLO. I just think that there's so much momentum on these names that I just feel like these nuclear names have more juice to the upside. And I know you're going to be wondering, well, why don't you think that about the quantum names? Just because I think that the real world application and the prospect of near-term earnings impact is far greater and far shorter on these nuclear names than it is on these quantum names, that I just don't think. I mean, listen, it's going to be tough for any of these companies to justify, their valuations when they come out and report their earnings as they go forward. But these right now are really more short squeezes, like OKLO, SMR, highly shorted stocks, IONQ, RGTI, QUBT, QBTS, all the quantum names, extremely highly shorted names. And shorts have been getting steamrolled and they've been getting run over. It's entirely possible you can see short sellers that are covering other short positions to meet margin requirements in other names. So you can have companies that have been shorting, like Reddit, for example. Reddit is a highly shorted stock. It's at all-time highs. Carvana, another name that's very highly shorted. That stock exploded. AppLovin, very highly shorted stock. It's at a new all-time high. So you have all of these stocks that are very heavily shorted that are making new all-time highs that could be forcing margin calls on those positions. And that would then force short sellers to cover other short positions to meet those requirements. And that could be what you're seeing on some of these quantum names. It could be what you're seeing on some of these nuclear names. And I think that something like an OKLO, I just think that has the possibility of giving you a little bit more upside. We'll look for support around 80 and see if there's maybe a little bit more room to test all-time highs of 85. But eventually, I think OKLO breaks 85 and goes to a new all-time high. Then we're going to target Microsoft. And the reason why we're going to target Microsoft is I like it. I like this one both ways this week. I like it long. I like it short. We're going to take a look at Microsoft. You have a very obvious resistance level that sits around 512. Okay? You can see resistance, 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 resistance. You also have the 50-day moving average. That's that dark blue line that you guys see right there on my screen. You can see a very obvious resistance level. If Microsoft was to get above that, I think it's a long up to 520, 519. But once you get to 520, 519, watch for that to be resistance. And if that were to line up with possibly a bearish signal on the overall market, then we would want to ride Microsoft maybe for the long into that level, then go short if the market gives us that signal that I showed you earlier, and then look for a pullback off of 520. So I'm actually looking to play Microsoft. If Microsoft gets above 512, I'm going to be long into 518, 519, 520. And then once we get there, I'm going to look then for a short off of 520 for Microsoft to pull back to 512. We're going to try to actually get cute this week, and we're going to play this thing both ways. Scott, welcome to the TeachD family. We have to welcome Scott. That means we're now down to only 5 of those spots remaining, guys. 5 of those spots remaining. Again, that is ttgoffer.com. Okay, ttgoffer.com. Any questions, text us to 1-888-621-2127. And guys, that does it for my top trade ideas for the week. Those are the stocks I'm focused on. It's Ethereum, it's quantum, it's nuclear, it's Microsoft. That's where I'm going to be focused. I also, before I forget, I am still short MicroStrategy. It's just been relatively weak compared to Bitcoin. right? Bitcoin's been rallying the last 2 weeks, and MicroStrategy can't get off of this support level. You have a real nice downtrend resistance line in place here. You got resistance at the 9 EMA, and you have a beautiful support level here at 320. So I'm still short. I'm short from 351. I have already covered 90% of my position into 320. That was my target when I shorted at 351. I covered into 320. I'm out of 90%. It was a beautiful trade. But I'm still holding 10% in case this 320 breaks. And if 320 breaks, I will reload my position. I'll probably get back to like 75% size. And we'll look for more downside to probably like 305 would be what we would look for. You just have to wait for a pullback on Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's rallying. Just wait for Bitcoin to give you a pullback. And then I think we can go ahead and we can reload on the MicroStrategy short because it's just been relatively weak. Now, I'm not just going to stay short MicroStrategy if this thing rallies and Bitcoin just keeps going higher. Like if MicroStrategy does this, I'm not just going to stay short it, right? Like I'm short from 351, so I've got a huge buffer here. I'm just holding on to a runner in case 320 breaks. We're going to reload it. So we'll watch Bitcoin. Bitcoin, doesn't really look like it's going to pull back here, but the relative weakness there in MicroStrategy will make me hold that position until something changes. Or if Bitcoin gives me the pullback, then we can reload. But I am going to look for that breakout on Ethereum. If Ethereum clears 5K, we could see some momentum kick in, and you can see a nice big rally on ETHU. Okay? So that's it, folks. Those are, I should say, some of my top trade ideas to start the week. Now, this will change. Tomorrow morning, we'll see what's going on. We'll see what the news is. I'll add stocks to this watch list. But for now, that's going to be the focal point. Fed meeting on Wednesday. We're expecting a 25 basis point cut. We'll see what we actually get from it, and we'll take it through from there. All right. Big shout out to all of our new members, guys. The clock is ticking. There's only 5 spots left. How do you know you're one of the 5 spots? It's very simple. When you go to ttgoffer.com and you're going to check out, does it say $297 is the price, or does it say $397 is the price? If it says $297, you're one of the 5. Congrats. Check out. Otherwise, the price is going to be $397. These are first come, first serve. If you have any questions or you need help, you need clarity on anything, you're unsure about something, just text us. We're fully transparent. We're an open book. 1-888-621-2126. New member, do you only trade high value stocks, or do you provide option strikes on the same stock trade ideas? That's a great question. And the answer is absolutely yes. So we trade stocks and we trade options in TTG. But so me personally, when I trade an equity, I will also alert you to an option contract if you want to follow me on that trade. So let's say I buy Tesla. I will say I'm long Tesla at this price. My stop loss is this price. If you want to follow me on the trade, I would buy the September 19th $400 strike call option for Tesla if you want to follow me on the trade. So I do give you guys the option contract to trade if you want to follow on an equity trade that a moderator is taking. Okay, but we also have moderators that specifically trade options, and they will just alert the option that they are buying with the entry price, the exit price, and everything else. We don't just say, hey, we're going to buy Tesla. We say, this is the actual price that we bought Tesla, right? If somebody buys a SPY call option, it's not just, hey, we bought the SPY 915, 655 call. No, we say we bought the 915, 655 call at $1.12. So you'll know the exact entry price and the exact exit price of all of our moderators' trades. Again, full, complete, and total transparency. We trade right in front of you guys live. Okay? So again, ttgoffer.com. Text us with questions, 1-888-621-2127. 5 of those spots left. They are first come, first serve. Take advantage of it. Congrats to all of our new members. I will see 10 of you in chat tomorrow, and we got the Fed meeting coming up on Wednesday. I want you to think real long and hard tonight about some of the stats that I shared with you at the beginning of this live stream. If you just joined this live stream late, I suggest when you have a moment, go back and watch the first 30 minutes of this live stream. Because the information that I shared with you and the statistics that I shared with you and the info I shared with you, I think is going to be eye-opening. And I think what you do over the course of the next 30 to 45 days is going to be critical to your financial situation for years to come. I truly, genuinely believe that. And I have all the information, the data, and the statistics to back that up. And that's why I went over there in the beginning part of this live stream. So if you missed it, I want you to go back and watch it. And if you did watch it, I want you to go back and listen to it again, because I think we're about to embark on a truly historic moment. And I think you guys all need to be prepared for it. So again, it's ttgoffer.com. Okay, $297 for 90 days. Text us with any questions, 1-888-621-2127. So here's one more thing before we go. Another person is texting in right now that says all his ideas hit. Oh, I'm sorry, the same person? Okay, so this is the same guy from earlier. The guy that wants hundreds of thousands of dollars says all of his ideas hit, but he keeps getting stopped out. If all your ideas hit, but you keep getting stopped out, then that means you're first of all, that means you're putting your stop losses in the wrong place. And the reason why you're probably putting your stop loss in the wrong place is because you're probably too scared to lose money and you probably have too much position size. So you put all this pressure on your entry to have to be perfect, meaning you're trying to enter a trade at the exact moment it's going to move higher. And I think you're trying to be too perfect. I have news for you. I'm not good enough to know the exact moment in time that a stock's going to move higher. Neither are you. Neither is anybody else. Okay, so this person said your talk is sketchy as F. Let's honestly, don't sign up. True Trading Group is not for you. It seems like you have all the answers, right? You said you have no money. You said you need hundreds of thousands of dollars on a funded account. You said that all your ideas are right, but you keep getting stuff. You have all the answers. So True Trading Group is not for you. I wish you nothing but the best of luck. I really do. I wish you nothing but the best of luck, but True Trading Group is not for you. Go find somewhere else. Go try to get your account funded for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then when you do, what you're going to realize is when a funded account, when they give you 100 grand or they give you 200 grand to trade with, you don't actually have that much money. You have that much in buying power. But if you lost $5,000, they're going to kick you out and they're going to close your account. So I wish you nothing but the best of luck. You have all of the answers. True Trading Group is not the place for you. That's it. It's just that simple. Some people some people can't be helped. And for that, I'm just not going to waste the time. So I would just say that TTG is not the place for you. I'm sorry. For the rest of you, ttgoffer.com. If you want, send us a text message with any questions. That's 1-888-621-2127. Have a wonderful rest of your night, guys. Subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, show some love, turn on your notifications, make sure you never miss out on any of these lives. We've got 5 of those spots left for the $297 for 90 days. Try it for 90 days. Tell me what you think. I think you're going to love it. That's why I'm going to give you the chance for $297. Otherwise, it's $397 for 90 days, and you can join us for the full year if you guys want. All right? Have a wonderful rest of your night. Using Mari AI charts made me $3,400 this week. So there you go. So we actually have an AI charting software on our platform for all of our AI Pro members that the AI is actually integrated and embedded into the charting software. So the AI actually can see everything that's happening on your charts, and it can suggest for you support, resistance, entry, profit target, stop loss, analyze indicators, chart patterns, candlestick patterns, all completely customized to your own trading style. So like your analysis on the AI will be different from mine because you have a different trading style than I do. And when it suggests a trade structure, it'll suggest a trade structure for you based on your risk tolerance, and it'll base a trade structure based on my risk tolerance. Right. So the AI remembers you and it will respond to you, not broadly speaking. Yeah, your first time using it. Escondido, that's amazing. You made $3,400 with that AI tool last week. That's your first time using it. I absolutely love to see it. Again, guys, there's a reason why we received the Benzinga FinTech Award. There's a reason why we work so closely with all these other companies. So come check it out. See what it's all about. Okay. That's ttgoffer.com. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your night, folks. Subscribe, join. I'll see you guys all in chat tomorrow. Have a great night. See you guys all later. Take care.